David, welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the one, the only Guerdy Abraira.
Hello, y'all. Let's get into it.
Welcome back. Let's just get right into it. Look, last season, when you and I sat down, you said, it was mostly about, Alexia and like planning her wedding. And you said, like, I really hope that, next season they learn who Guerdy is. So as we watch, I mean, how are you? Are you happy that we are learning who you are, Guerdy?
You're just tapping the surface, darling. It gets deeper and deeper and deeper. So let's do it.
How, like, overall, how was this season different for you?
I walked away literally knowing that there was something that just happened that was special in our group that has never been done, that will never be replicated, and that was so unique. And it's that Miami melting pot sauce. There's not something about the way that we are culturally mixed together that is not even comparable to any other unscripted show that you can even, think about. So I was proud is how I walked away from everything, being really, really proud of our group and just the organicness of it all. We just say like it is, and it shows.
Was there any one thing in particular that shocked you the most this season? Like, it doesn't have to do with you, just in general. I mean, I know
it doesn't have to do with me. I mean, literally, it has to do with Lisa. It has to do with mirror, mirror on the freaking wall. Who's the fakest of them all? It has to do with all of it. It was my facial expression is the way it is because of the fact that this shit right here that we just did is mind-boggling. I swear, I was like, is this virtual reality? Where the hell am I? I don't have words. I don't have words for you.
Well, that's when it's like an all-stars A-list players. Like when
out of body experience, right? That's what they call it. It was crazy.
Like you're in it, but like you're watching it, like when it doesn't have to do with you. And do you have moments of like, what the hell am I watching before my very eyes?
Thus the facial expressions. I'm telling you, it was literally not even real. I was looking at them like, did you say, what? And I'm like, everyone was like, Guerdy, you were me. I understood exactly what you're saying just by your whatever you did. You flared your nostrils. You had the one eye up. They were like, girl, you were talking code. We got you. So I don't mind my expressions because the people understood the assignments.
Listen, I love the expressions. They're authentic. Did you have a low of the season? Like, what was the low for you?
The low for me. I mean, the low for me, I think is personal when I realized, because I didn't expect Russell to be so candid with me, right? I'm thinking we're going to have this picnic. We're going to just kind of fluff talk. He's not the kind to be like, hey, bitch, pay attention. Here's what's happening. And he did that. And I was like, I shut down that night. Well, by the way, the lights are on and mama is putting in the extra overtime. We're good over here.
Do you think like that really helps? Like just that conversation, the show, watching it back?
1000%. So the show, when being on a show like this, most of the time it doesn't help and it goes bad. For me and Russell right now, again, I'm not one to say boast and say everything's amazing, but like it has helped me, number one, with myself, seeing myself back. I'm like, oh, I see how my tone of my voice can make people feel like I'm talking down to them, or I'm like very, firm and stern. And then with Russell, it's like, oh, he's happy, but I can make him happier. It really is therapeutic in many ways if you let it be. If you're combative and you're fighting that system, it ain't going to work for you. And there's a lot of women on this crowd, in this group, that are fighting this system and are not learning from it. And that, I think, is the issue.
Who do you think is fighting the system in this group?
Alexia is fighting the therapeutic process that this should be. Sometimes you look back and I hope at the reunion we look at each other or whoever she's having an issue with, and she could say, I looked at myself and I didn't like who I saw. I really was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I said things I didn't mean. I drank too much, but that's not even an excuse. Whatever the reasons are, but I hope that it's growing, learning and growing curves for everybody. If everyone's going to stand in their place and literally double down, triple down, quadruple down, all the way up to seeing what just happened on screen, then at that point, it's kind of like, that's on you. Yeah.
Well, right. I mean, you and Alexia do get into it this season.
We get into it this season. By the way, if you look at the previous episodes before we get into it, I'm the kind of person, strike one, strike two, I'm letting it pass. Okay, let's squash it. I got you. No issues. And then it's like, wait, now you're disrespecting me, and you think you're high, there's a hierarchy and pecking order. No, ma'am. And then I Guerdy that shit. And that's it.
She did an interview with Entertainment Tonight where she said, they said, who surprised you the most? She said, you. She said she thinks that you disappointed her the most. The thing is, you just don't stop.
I don't stop. That mirror should have been sent to Alexia too. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the most delusional of them all? I mean, my love, really, come on. It's kind of like you telling me that I scare you and that you can't be set across from you because I scare you because of my movement and expressionism. I'm sorry, my face moves. I'm sorry, I have feelings, and I'm sorry I'm from the Caribbean, which you're from as well. So we all act the same, but for some reason, I'm the one that's the scary one. Got you.
What about, because she also said in this article that it seems like you kind of rehearsed between, I'm paraphrasing, between season one and season, your first season and this season, you kind of thought about what you were going to say and how you were, it's basically saying like you've crafted this on-screen version of Guerdy.
Okay. And I think that my facial expressions are so organic and popping up à la minute, as they say, literally at the second it happens. I don't buy that particular comment at all. If anything, it's just kind of sad that there can't be a learning curve of like, you know what, you did a lot for me, thank you. You know what, I didn't mean to say anything about your brother, I'm sorry. That's how, to me, I operate. By you listen, you internalize, and then you reflect, and then you say, I'm sorry if I hurt you, I didn't mean it this way, whatever, respectfully so. If that's not the case with her, then it is not the case with her. But what we're not going to do is talk about my brother or my family ever. That's it.
Do you feel like she still owes you an apology for that?
You be the judge of that.
Touche. So you haven't gotten an apology is what you're saying.
No, because what happened, it was chaos, confusion, just kind of like, let's cry, let's do this, let's do everything else, but talk about the core. And as a friend, I would never talk about your brother the way that, I would never talk about, it's kind of has to go both ways. And what happens with this group, and I'm now generalizing it, is that some people say things and it's okay. Oh, no, she's going through it so much. Oh, no, she didn't mean it. And then you say one thing and it's kind of like, how dare you? Who are you? Sit down, quiet. You can talk. Don't look at me. And I've never been put in any corner. Nobody puts me in a corner, and it's not going to happen this time around, ever. I've fought too hard to be in my successful place that I am, and I'm not going to let anyone take me down in such a ridiculous manner.
Do you feel there's a divide then, like you said, like certain people say things and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, you're having a bad day, and then other people say, like, do you think there's a divide? Is it like the OGs versus, I can't even say newbies, because you and Julia and Nicole